be sure you're gonna get the best of me. Cause this might be your only opportunity. If you wanna roll with me, baby, you can stroll with me. And if you wanna go with me, baby, you can flow with me. There is so many places that I would like to take you. And baby, you can guarantee that I'll never forsake you. And I would like to take you to some places you've never been. And you can guarantee I'll be treating you like a queen. I wanna spoil you, girl. Baby, I never spoil you, girl. If you wanna roll with me, baby, you can stroll with me. And if you wanna go with me, girl, you can flow with me. There is so many places that I would like to take you. And baby, you can guarantee that I'll never forsake you. And I would like to take you to some places you've never been. And you can guarantee I'll be treating you like a queen. I wanna spoil you, girl. Baby, I never style you, girl. I promise I'll satisfy your needs and wants. I don't want you to know that this ain't no game of chance. So if you wanna roll with me, baby, you can stroll with me. And if you wanna go with me, baby, you.
That's right. What a way to start the Wayne Hall Show this evening. Hello, hello, and welcome. Thank you to everyone who's tuning in to what is going to be a busy but great edition of the show. Yes, indeed. Want to say hello and welcome to everyone listening on Linkage Radio 101.75, 104.5 FM, Hype FM, South Florida. What's good? Frankie Lex and the crew, Clark TV Network, Chester Clark and your audience, Viscosity Blend, Rupi Tida Blender. And your audience, welcome to everyone listening on Island Worldwide, the power of music. Shout out to the Sutherlands, Reggae Vibes Radio, family all the way. Bless up Reggae Vibes family, Yard Flow TV, Energy Radio 1, Mr. Fenton Troy and his audience, YouChooseRadiocom.com, DJ VJ Smiles, Rush Dougal, Kimon, how we doing over there family? Fresh FM Radio London, catch me every Thursday evening, 6:30 Atlanta EST time. And you'll hear my edition of the Wayne Hall Show on Fresh FM Radio. If you're watching on Restream, YouTube, IG, thewayneHallShow.com, or on Facebook Live, thank you so much for tuning in to the Wayne Hall Show this evening. It is indeed a pleasure to have every one of you. Kicking it off with George Prophet, Roll With Me this evening. Brand new one from singer Ari. There's a place. Here we go.
There is a place up there. Yeah. So all good people, oh well, if you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, you're the kind who take the time, help a stranger in the rain. There's a place for people like you.
You're listening to The Wayne Hall Show, where information meets music.
Pull the one from top, Miss All, it'll be them too bad.
There is a place up there. So so all good people. Oh well, if you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, you're the kind who takes the time, help a stranger in the rain. There's a place for people like you. If you stand up for those down on their knees, lend a voice to those who cannot speak. If you shine a little light and give sight to those who lost their way, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days up here it's true, there's a place for people like you. If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, try to be the change you wanna see.
Oh, yes.
If you lay down your life for love, so someone could be saved, there's a place up there for people like you. I've heard up here the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days up here is through, there's a place up there for people like you. There is
Yes.
a place up there for people like you. There is a place up there for people like you. There is a place up there for people like you. I know you're out there doing what you do best. Oh well, I've heard up here the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when the days up here is through,
There's a place for people like
That's right, brand new from singer Irie. There's a place, and that's always a touching song. Can be quite emotional, one that sends you into deep reflection, right? Want to say good evening again and welcome to everyone checking out the Wayne Hall Show right now. Our first guest is Mr. Dean Roden. He's up in about 3 minutes or so, and he's going to share with us his upcoming gospel concert, and he's inviting us to, hey, share his journey under the reggae tree. You believe that? There is a journey about under the reggae tree that we can hear about tonight. In the meantime, let's get some Dan G in here. Where you say, Dan G? Where you say, Dan G?
yeah, yeah. One tree, a dangy. To all the things that we not like it.
Aye.
Them take do my style out of the market. Jah know me no know what I want. Too much confusion. Them beat up the poor taxi man. The youth them get wild. Walk one for a little island. Too much injustice situation. We need a change. We need a change.
Sing yes.
This corrupt system, it needs to rearrange. We need a change. We need a change. A full time now, we turn a different page. When me say change, me mean all kind of ways. Like decrease the tax and increase the peers. Tired for work for just minimum wage. Been too long this tribulation. We have faced it for months and days. You politician, Mr. Big Man, why you want poor people cry tears over the years? We need a change. We need a change. This corrupt system, it needs to rearrange. We need a change. We need a change. A full time now, we turn a different page. To all the things that we not like it.
Hey.
Them take do my style out of the market.
That's right.
Jah know me no know what I want. Too much confusion.
corruption.
Them beat up the poor taxi man. The youth them get wild. Walk on for a little island. Too much injustice situation. We need a change.
Sing it, Angie.
We need a change. This corrupt system, it needs to rearrange. We need a change. We need a change. A full time now, we turn a different page. We need to take a stand, certain things need to stop. As a quint another get a you drop. When you hear from the shouting, get killed by cop. It's our next innocent life that make we demonstrate. We cannot live in a this state. The entire place devastate. That's why I just attack the truth. Get the youths pre-life on a different angle. Don't get caught in Babylon triangle. No easy, not the concrete jungle. Say it no simple. We need a change. We need a change. This corrupt system, it needs to rearrange.
That's right. The corrupt system needs to be rearranged. We need a change. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you so much for tuning in to the Wayne Hall Show this here evening on your radio. Again, big up to all the ones on the platforms: Linkage, Hype FM, Clark TV, Viscosity Blend, Island Worldwide, Reggae Vibes Radio, Yard Flow TV, Energy Radio 1, Fresh FM. And also going to say a big shout out to everyone on Facebook Live right now. Let me go over and start with the newest to the oldest, right? Want to say a big shout out to, and welcome to Sparky Melody. Salute you too. Andrea Brown McNeish. Good evening, Andrea. Good to see you. Selville Grant, hello. Natalie Sky Voice Lawrence, welcome. Jessica Serrano and Kiwi, big up on yourself. Mary Rendell. Christine Rendell, bless up CR. Thank you so much. Thank you for your dedication to the Wayne Hall Show. Good to see you. All right. And everyone else who's joined us. George Prophet, I see you. All right. Good to see you all, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go over to this other channel right here. Make sure I leave no one out. I got to make sure I got you all right, before I get into my conversation with Mr. Dean Roden. But before I do that, let me make sure I got my Facebook Live on the Wayne Hall personal page checked out. All right, I see we have, all right, let's see. We have over here, Wayne L. Hall. You see, I'm have to stay busy with my own stuff. Too many, right? All right, so over here, yeah, man, I got a few folks I want to shout out on here too. I saw them earlier. All right. Technology playing games. There we go, too. Tracy and Clark, George Prophet, and Timothy Kinney. All right, bless up. Thank you all for tuning in. Let me go over to YouTube and see. This is interesting. And see who's on YouTube. Got a shout out. Super Sessions with Suen. Happy Wednesday, Super Sue. Yeah, man. Looking forward to the ladies' discussion tonight. So am I, Super Sue. By the way, big shout out to Auntie Paulette and Miss Marcia and Theo and everybody else checking out the Wayne Hall Show. Right? Lord have mercy. Don't sue me, Sue, and don't sue me like your name says. Okay? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dean Roden is waiting. I'm going to go on over and talk to him about his upcoming event. But more so, just a quick intro into what he is about right here on the Wayne Hall Show. So let me scroll on down to Zoomland here. And there he is on your screen, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Dean, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, my brother. It's an honor and it's a privilege to be on this show here tonight. No, you're globally so tonight, this morning, and
I'm
in the
hearing
evening.
some feedback in your background. Yeah. So I'm hearing a little bit of sound in your background there, Dean. You have something on listening or no?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
using it, no.
Don't worry about it then.
Yeah.
We'll see if it goes away. All right. I'll check here again shortly. All right. So how are you, my brother?
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure. It's an honor to be on this platform. And wish you all the best, man. You're doing a fantastic job. I want to thank you for having me this day. I know you're globally, you're morning, noon, and night. So respect, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. No, ladies and gentlemen, Dean hosts a show, and I'm trying to find your bio real quick, Dean. Um, I'm multitasking. So, ladies and gentlemen, just a little bit about him. He's Kingstonian. He's a countryman like me. So, Dean is from Kingston. Presently resides in East Rochester, New York. Bachelor's degree from Charter Oak State College. He's the father of two boys and is the CEO and founder of Let's Talk under the Reggae Tree Foundation. And Dean was the program coordinator of the Adult Literacy Program at the Center for Urban Research, Education, and Training. He's a recipient of the 100 Men of Color Award. He's a citizenship guide and instructs immigrants who are legal permanent residents and wish to become naturalized United States citizens. Dean has also worked as an assistant teacher at Jumoke, and he'll fix that for me if I messed it up, Jumoke Academy Middle School in Hartford, Connecticut. He has been hosting the virtual Zoom meeting for the Greater Augustown Community Development Council, CDC, meetings, and since 2021 to the present. Dean was a scout leader. All right. He's also a scout leader. He has been teaching good citizenship to children for a while and adults alike. He was appointed by the City Council of Hartford, Connecticut to serve as Commissioner on Refugee and Immigrant Affairs for a term of 2 years, 2014 to 2016. He has over 30 years experience of teaching and training young people and adults in the Boy Scouts movement as an international Boy Scout leader. He's also he says, despite his disability from spinal surgery and radiation therapy for cancer, he had survived. He's still committed to continue his service to the community. Dean, so quick. I had to let the audience know a little bit about your background. Thanks again for coming on. After all that, man, where do we start?
Our mission is just to help one more person today. And that's the greatest achievement I seek for on a daily basis.
I'm sorry, Dean. Yeah, was making sure audience could hear you. So, you said what on a daily basis? Sorry.
Yeah, what I said, despite of all those achievements, my greatest achievement is to assist a young person mainly, or a person for tomorrow's future. That's our goal, and that's a part of my medication and my remedy for being alive today. I was told if I don't continue giving service, that's the greatest mission we have on this earth.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll say this much. Okay, let's see here. Make sure we try that again. I'm trying that again, VJ Smiles. I saw your note. All right. So, Dean, which brings us to the Reggae Tree, because one of the hats you've worn and is currently wearing is the under the Reggae Tree movement. Tell us about that.
Well, being an ambassador for Jamaica in Scouting, I've been representing Jamaica in Scouting for the past 30 years. When I go to a camp, that's where I discover reggae was in the Nelson Dictionary. Someone in the state bring a dictionary and said, do you know where reggae was originated from? First time I knew it, it was from Jamaica. And reggae has always been a part of me. Bob Marley used to come next door to me to have lunch with Sangy Davis, and cut long story short, I went on a platform during the pandemic. It was Rudy Page, Let's Make Connection.
Yeah.
And there was a young lady by the name of Diana, and they were talking about the reggae tree with Kwaku that came from Africa and went to England. And I said, wow, because I wanted to start a program which was like, I grew up playing marble under the mango tree, under the Guinea tree. So I said that would be nice to take the reggae tree to our community, because that's where most of the reggae music originated from Hermitage, Augustown, the Dwayne Stephen, Prilly Hamilton. So I said, let's go under the reggae tree. I grew up on the corner, under the mango tree, played marble gig. So I said, so I started it with Uncle Dean. Let's go on the corner with Uncle Dean under the reggae tree. But it was too long, so we cut the name of it to the under the reggae tree, and then we have different speakers to come and talk. So we said, let's talk under the reggae tree. And basically, what we do, sometimes as adults, we tend to want to have our children be what we are, or some want to be doctors, some want to be lawyer. So what the program entail is to allow young people come on the program and tell us. It's a platform for young people to talk freely what they want to be when they grow up. So I have over last year, since I've started 3 years ago, we have over 100 young people from across the globe. We have people from England,
Yes.
Canada, Jamaica, and what they do, they tell us what they want to be. So we have several youngsters want to be doctors, want to be
Okay.
lawyer,
Yeah.
we have a prime minister. We have
Oh.
one young lady want to be the first governor general. So what we do, they dressed up as a prime minister. They dressed up as a police, not a police officer, but he wants to be the commissioner of police. And they send the clippings to me. So what we do, we believe that young people need something to do and somewhere to go, and they need someone to show them how. So what we do, we have professional doctors, professional lawyers, professional. So we want to meet. So each person, we have that professional person to mentor and to talk to these young people and tell them what it was like their age. So that's basically what the program deals with.
Great, Dean. Wow, that's a lot. And, hats off to you, man. You're telling me thanks for what I do. Thank you for all you do there. But what you do does need funding, right? Does
Yes.
need funding. And behind you is a big banner that says Global Youth Educational and Community Development Program Mission Trip May 24, Black History Month celebration, etc., etc. And then on this weekend, there's a big fundraising event coming up. So tell us real quick about all that.
Yeah, well, all those artwork, I drew all of those. I drew
Really?
all of those. I'm the artist. I have the Bunny Wailer, and these are for sale for funding. That Bunny Wailer was signed by Bunny Wailer himself when he was in Hartford, and I gave Bunny Wailer a copy. Um, Bob Marley, I drew Bob Marley like like last month I drew Bob Marley, and Marcus Garvey was signed by Dr. Julian Garvey in Connecticut when I
Yeah.
was at a function. And then Luciana, I also drew Luciana, and they also have a copy of this. So I gave one to them and I have it. So, and so I drew all of those. I did a course in art and I drew the Obama in 1987. But what happened, we are going to be going, May is Child's Month. And when I was in Jamaica, I would have a function in Mandela Park with Scout, Cadet, Girl Guide, because I believe in intervention, and these are the programs that we need to intervene by dealing with our young people. So we're going to be having meeting with young people in the Child's Month. So we're going to go to the Scout, the Girl Guide, all these youth group, police youth club in Jamaica. So we're going to be in Jamaica for 2 weeks, May 14th to May 30th. And each child that comes on the program, we prepare what is called a welcome kit. So once they sign in, we have over 100 kids with the permission of their parents. So we're going to be giving them a welcome kit which consists of a drawstring bag, a water bottle, and they get their different. We try to give them incentive. The scouts,
Yes.
they need tents, they need compass. So we're going to be we take down all these things. So we're going to be distributing it. Two of our major project will be, we're going to be building robot, the STEM program in between Hermitage and Augustown, those 5 communities, Hermitage, Augustown, Goldsmith Villa, African Garden, and Bedward Garden. Hopefully, we'd like to build it in the square of Bryson, where we have at least 50 people. And there's a young man who do robotic in Jamaica. He's going to be supervising it. And we have three persons. We have a gentleman by the name of Jimmy Matt. He's a founder of Jimmy Matt Foundation. He have never been to Jamaica before. It is his first time going to Jamaica. And he's the one that sponsored that robotic thing.
Yeah.
And we also have a guy named Raven. He has never been to Jamaica. So we have like four persons who have never been to Jamaica.
Interesting.
And believe it or not, they said they want to go by Judgment Yard. They want to know where Sizzla is. So we're going to be having lunch in Judgment Yard. We're going to be going where Bob Marley normally meets on Friday at the 12th Tribe of Israel. Sangy Davis, who is a very good friend of mine, he wrote the song Life is One Big Road. We're going to meet Sangy, and Sangy's going to be taking us, to 12th Tribe. We're going to be having dinner there and the Bob Marley Museum. And we have a member from Canada and the UK will be accompanying us. As usual, Rudy always give us his support, and he's also planned to, been supporting us with the Windrush program.
Okay. Wow. Lots going on there. So Dean, in lieu of time, please talk to us about the upcoming show this weekend.
All right, this Saturday we're gonna be having a gospel concert, and you can pay online. You can, once you go on our website, Let's Talk Under the Reggae Tree upcoming event. The information is there. Ticket, we're gonna be having two set of tickets. If you're in Jamaica, the information will tell you where you can buy it in Jamaica. If you're in the US, you can pay it online also. So our mission is to have being a global program. So we're going to be having artists from the US, Antigua, Cayman, and it's all via Zoom. So we're going to be having it this Saturday, the day after my birthday, and I will be celebrating 40 years of community service. So it's a celebration, and the mission is to assist us when we are in Jamaica with all these things, and to get a clearance with our material that we're taking down.
Awesome. I just put the flyer on the screen for the audience to see. There it is again, ladies and gentlemen. Let's Talk Under the Reggae Tree Foundation online global gospel showcase. And it says local and international gospel singers. And you've heard from Mr. Dean Roden right now, 40 years of community development service. Dean, please tell me how I can donate if I can't buy a ticket to come see this event.
It's also on the website. You could go to Let's Talk Under the Reggae Tree upcoming event, and you scroll down to donate. There's a link.
Awesome.
But once you Google it, you say donate, and it will take you right to the Cash App website. And if you want to do it by WhatsApp, all information is on the website.
Do you have the Cash App, Andy?
The Cash App, it's the $.
Slow down. I'm typing it in the chat on social media. $.
Yeah, and U Reggae.
UREGGAE. T.
That's and then you can abbreviation Dean Roden. That is our foundation. Cash
So
App.
U Reggae T. That's it.
The $.
Okay.
U Reggae T.
All right, U Reggae T. All right.
And my phone number is 860 462.
All right, hold on. Because I'm going to type that too, since you caught me before I hit post. Telephone. Oh, Lord, I accidentally hit post. Okay, what's telephone?
860 462 5656.
5656. Awesome. All right, cool. All right.
So Under the Reggae Tree was a bird from, Rudy Make Connection Works program, and we want to thank, Rudy. Want to thank you for what you've been doing and for allowing me, in this short notice to come on your program, And we're gonna be having Sister Sasha. She was there, who was my neighbor. I'm very proud to know that I was one of the first persons when I gave her an award in Jamaica, and we see how she has excelled. She's also gonna be on the concert. So thank you very much, and to all our supporters, we wanted to thank the world, because we have been getting wonderful support from the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean. It's a tight show tonight. I need to bring you back to talk more about those great service, years of service, and some of the things you do under the reggae tree down there in Augustown and in other places coming up. Much appreciated. Thank you. All the best with your online gospel concert. I did drop your phone number and the $ in the chat. Hopefully you'll get some donations from some of the viewing audience before or even after Sunday to continue
man.
your
Thank
hard
you,
work.
thank you.
Dean,
I-
yes?
Thank you. I just wanted to know it's a Nash that that's for Augustown. The project might be in Augustown this time, but
Yeah.
we're globally. We have people from the NEAT, Westmoreland, all over
Yes,
that
man.
is on the program. Thank you very much. That's all
Yes,
yeah.
that's why I said another
Yes.
places to come.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Thank you
Dean.
very
Take
much.
care. Appreciate you, my brother.
Thank
All the best in all you do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Steve. To you.
Rondell Village Resort and Spa is a stunning beachfront resort located on Negrils 7 Mile Beach in Jamaica. Rondell Village offers a perfect blend of luxury and relaxation, marked by its pristine white sand beaches, crystal clear water, and lush tropical surroundings. Choose from our 1, 2, or 3 bedroom villas, each with its private jacuzzi and the option of a private chef. Enjoy our fine restaurants, beach, bar, village spa, and salon. Our outdoor pools and jacuzzis are open daily. Planning a wedding, family reunion, or simply getting away? Rondell Village is the perfect destination. This exclusive family-owned beachfront resort awaits you. For reservations, call 876-957-4413 or 800-544-5979 or visit info@rondellvillage.com or their website rondellvillage.com. See you soon at Rondell Village Resort in Negril.
Hey there, Atlanta, this is your main man, Jay Henry, live. And I want to invite you to come hang out with me and a couple of my friends, Andre Jackson, Danny Clay, and Jamal Dukes, as we pay tribute to the iconic voices, Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, and Donny Hathaway. Live, Friday, April 5th, at the Atrium in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Details are on the flyer. Tickets are available now. I want to see your face in the place. Yeah, baby. It's gonna be ecstasy, yes. All right, y'all.
I'm telling you, oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you I am looking forward to that event, I'm so looking forward to that event there with Jay Henry. He's going to be up in 10 minutes after we get through with Mr. Anthony Turner to talk about the Atrium. Right now, it's time to say welcome, Sir Turner. How are you? Hold on, I need to make sure I hear Anthony. Okay, Anthony, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
How you doing? You hear me?
Yeah, man, loud and clear
I'm
now.
curious about this thing that you're talking about. What is it?
What, Jay Henry
Yeah,
and friends? Okay, so let me jump over to my flyer so I can tell you more about that. This, on April 5th here in Atlanta at the Atrium, it's Jamar Dukes, Andre Jackson, and Danny Claes. They all sound just like the artists they're paying tribute to. Barry White, Luther Vandross,
Oh.
Teddy Pendergrass, and Donny
Wow.
Hathaway. When I tell you,
Wow.
he's gonna be on at right after you at 8:45.
You're my favorite artist.
Yeah, I'm not missing this show, man. I'm not missing this show, Anthony. So,
All right,
yes, sir.
Maybe I need to check that out. But yes, last week we were supposed to make the link, and I know there's some technical issues and we never made the link. But yeah, I was actually in Jamaica. Went the week before Boys and Girls Championship, and
Yeah,
we definitely want to say congratulations to Kingston College for winning Boys Champs, and certainly to Edwin Allen for winning the Girls Championship. And it was an exciting championship as always. But I was there the weekend before for the Elite Weekend, and I'm sure you probably saw some of the pictures and the videos and all the great things that happened. It was a spectacular event. It's 2 individual promoters that came together to host this very first time they're doing it in Jamaica, Blow and Bougie, which is
Yeah.
an all-blue event. And it has been happening here in the US from 2017 in New York.
Why
It was the
Jamaica
first
this
time.
year?
Well, the two promoters got together. There are two big promoters here in New York, and they feel that, as they say, dance at broad. They want to say you have to dance a yard before you dance abroad. But they've been dancing here in the US. They might dance abroad for a while now, maybe 7, 8 years. So they said they wanted to go to Jamaica and dance a yard, and that is exactly what they did. And as I said, two promoters, and All Blue, which happened on March 16th, and All White was on March 17th. It happened at the iconic Devon House in Kingston. And if you've never been to Devon House, when it's set up and decorated for an outside event, well, when I walked into that park, I couldn't believe the way it was transformed. I mean, we know
Wow.
Devon House have really nice green lawn and the whole backdrop, but when
Yeah.
it's backlighted with the blue lights, and really, really looks spectacular. And I mean, the cabanas, everything, it was really decorated to the T. And the first event on Saturday started off at 5. People said, boy, that's suicidal, because nobody goes to events in Jamaica early. Normally, not before 11, 12, even 1 o'clock. Some people, that's the time that
Oh
they
my
get
gosh.
ready.
Yeah.
This is an event that started at 5, and by 11 it was done. So, and this was on a Saturday evening, nevertheless. And I mean, when I got there about 6 o'clock, people were lined up in their blue, in the full blue.
Wow.
And yes, so by 7 o'clock it was in full effect, and
Love it.
dancing, and they had one DJ came from the US on the Saturday night, and the other ones are local DJs, and really, people had a great time. And then Richie Stevens, who came at my invitation, and he was just there not to perform, but the vibes was just so right that he said, I need to take the mic and bless the place. And he
See
came
there.
on and gave them a Luther Vandross song. I'd rather.
Have hard times with you.
Yeah, man, and that was the place. And then he did his perennial favorite, which is, I forget the name of the song, but no, it wasn't Fight Back. It was one of his big songs. So, but it was really nice. Then on Sunday, there was, of course, the All White, and the All White actually turned out to be the bigger of the two events, because Sunday evening people go to church, Sunday morning come home, eat them Sunday dinner, and then Sunday evening at 5 o'clock they're ready to hang out. And they came out in large numbers, man, and I tell you, really nice party. But I have to give it to DJ Roy from New York, Road International, a man who celebrated 40 years last year in the industry. DJ Roy took the DJs in Jamaica to school, and to university, and back.
Watch it now,
And
Anthony.
teach
Watch it now. Watch it now.
them. No, nothing. We're not taking away anything from the Jamaican DJs, but DJ Roy really brought it in a big way. And it's not just the selection of music, the way he interacted with the crowd. And I mean, it was a cross section of patrons there. So he had some young ones, and then he had some middle-aged ones, and some a little older. And he had the young folks dancing ska.
Wow.
And then when it came time for the young music and the young people thing, the drift, he had some of the 50 and 60-year-olds doing the drift. And to be able to do that, it takes a special skill. So he actually left from behind the turntable. He went out in the crowd and engaged them in a way that, I mean, I know he's good, but the way he interacted and engaged with them, and I tell you, people had a blast. They had fun. I mean, I've never, for a long time, I haven't seen people had so much fun. And know that it's gone. And I mean, people are coming in, people from Atlanta, your neck of the woods. There are a couple of people from Atlanta, a couple of people from New York, New York, of course, was there in the house, but from South Florida, lots of folks from South Florida. I met a young lady. She was actually celebrating her birthday, Nadia Clark, and she was coming all the way from Houston, Texas. And she said she came with 4 of her friends, and she said, Anthony, I had about 14 friends that I could have invited, but it's the first time I'm coming, so I didn't want to overdo it. But she said next year I'll be there, and I'm carrying all of my single girls from Houston, Texas. I met another gentleman who lives in Jamaica, and he was saying, Anthony, this party has legs to stand on. This is diaspora meeting Jamaicans. And he said, Champs Weekend in Kingston, there are no weekend events. When you talk about BRT and some of the other events, weekend, vacation type event, they're all happening either Negril or Montego Bay or St. Anne's Ochi. This is like one of the first weekend events that was happening in Kingston. And then it happened the weekend before Champs. The guy told me I have 16 friends coming in for Champs on Tuesday. He said, if I just told them, you guys need to come in on Friday, they all could be here. So, I mean, I know you're a sportsman, and a lot of people, not everybody know that you're a big sportsman.
True.
So if next year you're going for Champs, then you have to put the Elite Weekend, and it's always the weekend before Champs.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Yes, so it was, the tourist board was one of the sponsors, and they, they were using this first event to see what the offering was, and based on what I heard and saw, they will be back for sure in 2025. So just wanted to let you guys know. And for folks who wanna, just check out the website, it's theeliteweekend.com, theeliteweekend.com, and you'll see, or if you go on social media and search the Elite Weekend, you'll see some of the fabulous pictures and the videos that people are just gushing over.
Awesome.
Right.
Love it. Anthony, real quick, Irama lived up to expectations pretty much for the most part. The acts were great, and they had TJ performing live, so I got to see him and his dancer doing the drift. Yeah, so we drifted into some fun right there. Freddie was my personal highlight.
Wow, I saw that.
I'm putting together a quick little 3-4 minute video of my highlight of Irama, which was Freddie. To see Freddie was like everything, and then the tribute and his rolling in on his wheelchair and standing up when he received his award. I'm gonna release that video soon, courtesy of the Wayne Hall Show and Super Sessions with Swen. So, but it was great overall. Lots of awardees, lots of great awards. The acts were awesome. Lots of African acts, and
really,
yes, quite a few African acts, male and female. So it was pretty good. Yeah, man. And the superstars were there as always. The red carpet is always an adrenaline rush at Irama, and it lived up to that. So that's my 2 cents real quick. My next guest is standing by. Anthony, it's a packed show tonight. Listen to this conversation coming up, and I'll see you in Atlanta on April 5.
All right, you take care, man.
Big up, Anthony. Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for staying with the Wayne Hall Show tonight. And let me make sure I bring in my next guest here. Let's see. Mr. J. Henry. Yep, let's bring him in. And while we're waiting on Mr. Henry to come in, let's see. Let's do this.
Hey there, Atlanta. This your main man, J. Henry, live. And I want to invite you to come hang out with me and a couple of my friends, Andre Jackson, Danny Clay, and Jamal Dukes, as we pay tribute to the iconic voices, Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, and Donny Hathaway. Live Friday, April 5th at the Atrium in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Details are on the flyer. Tickets are available now. I want to see your face in the place. Yeah, baby. It's gonna be ecstasy, yes. All right, y'all. I'll see you later.
The man says, I'll see you later. It's gonna be ecstasy. All right, hold on, everybody. Let me... Okay, so Mr. J. Henry is in. Let me go over here to Zoom and close that window real quick. All right, yep. J. Henry,
Hey there, how are you?
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, did you all hear that? Did you all hear that? He's not even making an effort to sound like that. Come on now, man. What did you do? What did you do with Barry White? How do you have Barry White coming out through your voice? Oh my gosh.
You know what's funny, Wayne? I heard Barry White for the first time when I was about 8 years old, listening to Secret Garden. And when I heard his voice, I said at 8 years old, man, I want to sound like that. And one day I woke up at 14 years old, and this was my voice.
Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Lord have mercy. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Jay Henry. And, you know, if I go over to flyers, there's the flyer on the screen. We're about to talk about this event, April 5th, 8 p.m., all right, inside the Atrium Atlanta, a tribute. And I'm going to shut up and let Jay Henry do the talking. Tell us about this awesome event that's coming up, Jay.
Well, I wanted to do this the right way. I wanted to make the tribute of all tributes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have four legendary voices: Luther Vandross, Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass, Donny Hathaway. Four voices and styles that people love. And I always thought, imagine if you can get all four of them together one night. What kind of concert that would be.
I'm telling you.
With a full band, 11-piece band.
Oh, that's what we're in for?
Oh, that's what you're in for.
Oh, my
Horn
goodness.
section, background vocalist, rhythm section, percussionist. And I have three of my good friends coming to town. Danny Clay, who was discovered by Steve Harvey, singing Luther Vandross. And if you close your eyes, you'll think you're listening to him. And Jamar Dukes, who's the nephew of Glenn Jones. He'll be doing Donny Hathaway. And then you also have Andre Jackson.
Yeah.
Teddy Pendergrass reincarnated.
Oh, wow.
Yes. If you had a chance to hear my new single with Andre Jackson and Danny Clay on it, you understand what I'm talking about. But those three performers are three people I've had the opportunity to work with individually. And I thought it would be a crazy idea to put all four of us together one night in one place and possibly take this on the road. And I do want to tell Atlanta and surrounding areas, if you're in town, and if you don't have anything planned next Friday, the Atrium is where you need to be. I promise you, it'll be a night you won't forget.
Right. And I'm trying to get this on the screen as we talk about it so you can share the screen with us somewhere here. Let me see if it will fit right. Yeah, there we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, right between me and Jay Henry, there is the flyer that we're talking about. And this is going on down there at the Atrium. And a lot of us know about the Atrium. It's very popular on Stone Mountain, on Memorial Drive, 5479 Memorial Drive. And let's see, it's April 5th. And it's an early enough show, too. Doors open at 7:30 p.m.
Yes.
I gotta ask you, Jay Henry.
Yeah.
This, you know what? Every time I listen to your ad and I see the flyer, I feel very Las Vegas in my mind. I feel like this is like a Vegas show right here.
And that's what we're trying to bring to Atlanta.
Okay.
And we're working on doing this monthly. So I'm going to do monthly tribute shows. Like in May, we're working on the Emotions of the Jones Girls.
Oh.
Yes. So the whole thing is to bring that Vegas experience to Atlanta. And like I said, I want to do it right.
Awesome, man. Man, I'm telling you. That voice right there, I thought the man himself came on. Ladies and gentlemen, please get your tickets for this one. And I mean it when I say I'll see you there, because this isn't gonna miss Wayne Hall. And Jay, I gotta tell you, man, I have quite a few individuals already expressed that they gotta be at this show. So we're excited and looking forward to it. How do we get tickets?
Absolutely. go to eventbrite.com, and you should just be able to type in J. Henry or the J. Henry at the Atrium, to my knowledge. Go right there, and or you can call. I believe it's 404 939. 1 second, let me get that number for you.
Sure. You go ahead and get it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is creating a buzz because of the different artists and how well they sound like them, how much they sound like them. I'm telling you, this one is gonna be a very entertaining event. April 5th, that's during spring break for Gwinnett County Schools. So those of you who are hanging around or came back from spring break, make sure you go check out J. Henry live at the Atrium. You have that number ready?
Almost.
Okay. And so while he's...
All right, here we go.
Okay, good.
404 939 285.
404
939
929.
939
Yeah, 939
2845.
2845. All right, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. J. Henry is gonna be at the Atrium in Atlanta. Is there like websites, YouTube channels, or places we can go and see previous performances?
Absolutely. Just type in J. Henry Live or J. Henry Barry White, and you can see previews of me on the sax as well as singing.
Guys, go check it out. Go to YouTube, look up J. Henry Live or J. Henry Barry White, and check out this amazing performer, and how much he'll bring you back into those days when you were just all up in your different artists. But what I like is the package. You know, it would be good enough for one doing a show, but man, Luther Vandross, Teddy P, man, I can't wait to hear somebody say, "Turn it off."
Man, let me tell you something, man. We did a show in D.C., Andre and I, at the Carlisle Room.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, it was bananas. He's such an energetic performer, such as myself. So the two of us together with that energy, that presence that Barry and Teddy had.
Yes.
And Danny Clay and I did a show in Sacramento together. And I kid you not, they literally had to call the ambulance to come resuscitate this lady.
Oh, wow.
I kid you not.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was that crazy.
I can just
and
imagine.
Jamal Dukes, I mean, what can I say? That's just a singing fool. But what do you expect from other? Do you expect anything other from Glenn Jones' nephew?
I know, right? Gotta be just as. I love that singing fool.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, ladies and gentlemen.
Band, what more can I say about my band? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evolutionary is the name of my band, and when I tell you, they gonna bring it. And like I said, I went with my full band because those artists had full bands, and when you went to those shows, you got the full experience. It wasn't a track thing. It wasn't a trio trying to fill out a whole band sound, you know. And I said, if I did this, I want to do it right because I want to make a statement and I want to make an impact.
Listen.
So we're going to have some fun.
Listen, it's got to be ecstasy.
Gonna be ecstasy, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's J. Henry. Anything else before we wrap up, Jay?
I just want to see you there, Atlanta. Atlanta, you are in for a treat, I promise you. I promise you, you will not forget that night. It's going to rekindle some flames or create new flames, but it's going to be a great night. You're going to have some great music, great food, and just an overall great experience. And awesome. I can't wait to meet you and shake your hand, as well as entertain you.
I know. Likewise. I gotta come out early so I can get to do all that, Jay.
Oh, absolutely.
Atrium, here we come. I can't tell you I promote a lot of events but this one got my attention and I'm gonna be there. Like some of the folks are telling me in the chat. Yep. Beto wants to know the date. It's April 5 at 8 p.m. in the atrium, Beto. And Janice says that voice will definitely pull folks to the atrium. He claimed the sound at 8, but got it at 14. That's amazing. Andrea, we're going. I love it.
If they call that number, I'll be answering the phone.
And if you call that number, you're going to hear, hello. Call the number, ladies, so you can get that early taste. Henry here. You're so good.
And my share of lovers, some of them were damn good.
Hey! All right. You all know the rest. Let's go to the atrium to get the full performance. Man,
You're right.
we're excited. We're excited.
So am I.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you there for sure, man.
All right.
All right, my brother. You take care and thank you.
You as well.
We'll be
Thank
in
you.
touch.
Thank you.
All
In
right.
Atlanta, I look forward to seeing you next Friday night.
Awesome.
Right.
That's right. That's right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it. Mr. J. Henry. Great conversation on his upcoming
Likewise.
live, J. Henry Live at the Atrium. Okay, Natalie Skyboiler. Well, you said wow? You're not wowing yet, girl. Wait till next Friday night in the Atrium. Are you coming, Natalie? Yes. Make sure to come out. All right?
And be sure to follow me on social media at J. Henry Live. The letter J. Henry Live. That's Facebook and Instagram.
Thank you.
J. Henry Live.
J. Henry Live. Follow him, ladies. And guys, yeah.
Sure,
Barry
man.
White fans are male and female. Follow him. All right. Thank you, J. Henry.
Thank you.
All right.
You have a good night.
Good night.
All right. Hey there, Atlanta. This is your main man, J. Henry Live. And I want to invite you to come hang out with me and a couple of my friends, Andre Jackson, Danny Clay, and Jamal Dukes, as we pay tribute to the iconic voices, Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, and Donny Hathaway. Live Friday, April 5th at the Atrium in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Details are on the flyer. Tickets are available now. I want to see your face in the place. Yeah, baby. It's gonna be ecstasy, yes. All right, y'all. I'll see you later.
All right. That's J. Henry there. Make sure you go to the Atrium next week, Friday. Barry White, even the man sounds just like Barry White, along with Teddy Pendergrass, Donny Hathaway, Luther Vandross. I'm not missing that one. Sorry. You know where to find me next week, Friday night, 8 o'clock at the Atrium, J. Henry Live. Ladies and gentlemen, it's 9:02 p.m. and we're going to have our annual Salute to Women edition for 2024. We are being graced by 4 awesome women, 3 special guests that will be cheered, will be, what's the word Jack will use? She was happy to be the chairperson, moderator. There we go. And they're going to be highlighting this year's Women's International theme. Before I go over to them, one of our sponsors is Patsy Gatson, running for DA in Gwinnett County. And she's a sponsor of this evening's conversation. Here's her ad.
Join us in celebrating Women's History Month by re-electing Patsy Austin Gatson, Gwinnett's first female district attorney. Under her leadership, the inaugural DA Citizen Academy was launched alongside groundbreaking programs designed to protect our youth and guide them towards positive futures. Support progress. Re-elect Patsy Austin Gatson for DA, a pioneer for justice and a champion for our children. Let's keep making history together.
That's right. And ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate Miss Patsy for being a sponsor tonight. And if you're in Gwinnett County, please, by all means, re-elect Patsy, right? Okay, so having said that, let me scroll on down to Zoomland. All right. Let me Go over to Zoom. There we go. And my guests are there. And I've got to tell you, they were on time. Ladies, good evening and welcome to the Wayne Hall Show. Yeah, that was my nice little way of making sure you all can hear me. All right. And I can hear you. Okay, I'm going to tell you what tonight. So, Jekyll is our host, our moderator. And so I'm going to turn it over to Jekyll. And she's going to get into an introduction, your bio, etc. But then, ladies, as you talk, based on the perspective of your journey, real quick, let's say you were a politician and you've seen some of the lack of inclusion. Don't rock your head, politician. Or if you were in another form of business, but as you evolved into who you are now, you have come across what our theme is about this year. The presence or lack of inclusion for women. Just that's how we're going to segue into this conversation tonight. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm turning it over. I'm going to try and make myself disappear off the audience screen. Let's screen there. I pulled that off. And now it's going to be Jekyll taking over. Thank you so much.
Platform and giving us this opportunity to have what I know is going to be an amazing conversation this evening. And so I'm actually going to dive right in because this is, as Wayne said, International Women's Month. We've had International Women's Day, and the theme is inspiring inclusion. And so that is going to be the focus of our conversation. And with our esteemed, ladies and gentlemen, did I say that? Esteemed panel of amazing ladies. And so, ladies, I want to welcome you all tonight and thank you for the opportunity to share with us our first guest. And I do have a bio I'm going to read, but let me just do a little quick intro and then I'll share a little bit more about our amazing guests. So first we have the Honorable Donna McLeod, who's a former member of the Georgia House of Representatives. Yay, let's everybody give her a clap. And then we have Miss Winnie Stark, American Family Insurance Agent. Welcome, Winnie.
Thank you.
And then we have Miss Samantha Samuels, co-chair for the City of Stockbridge Development Authority. Ladies, welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you. And when I say that you're all powerhouses in your own right, I sincerely mean that, and just shattering the glass ceiling in your own area, in your own field. And so I'm going to share a little bit about that tonight. And I'm going to start with you, Miss McLeod. And the reason why I'm starting with you is you recently celebrated your birthday. So we're going to just celebrate that right now because, you know, for all your accomplishments, you get to celebrate your birthday till March 31st. How about that?
That's great. And I'm doing it.
You're doing it. And so I just want to share a little snippet about you for our audience. And I know a lot of them do know of you. They've followed your really amazing career, but you're from Jamaica, you know? And so I just want to make that known that we are claiming you front, left, right, and center. And so I do have a bio here, so I'll just share a little bit of that. You were actually born in Kingston, and then you moved to Canada, because I think some people think that you came directly here to the US, right? So you came here from Canada, you moved to Georgia in 1998 and became a US citizen in 2012. And then going from that to the House of Representatives. But before we get there, I just want you all to know who this lady is. She earned a bachelor degree in chemical engineering. How many people do you know who's earned that? You know, like, you're the only one I know. So right away, and so you're a chemical engineer with over 30 years of experience in quality assurance management engineering, and you're now the president and CEO, I'll try to say this right, of Envirocol LLC, okay, a quality insurance regulatory consulting company specializing in medical devices, food, plastic, and pharmaceuticals. So you first ran to represent District 105 in the Georgia House of Representatives in 2016, and then you served 2019 to 23 as the member of the House of Representatives from the 105th District. And I've got to say, you're a first, and we're so proud of this first. The first Jamaican American to become a representative in Georgia. And ladies, we just got to stop there and give that hand. So just so incredible. You are also the co-founder of CANI. It's Community Action Network Initiatives. It's a nonprofit, a 501c3 organization that helps educate and inform people of their civic and societal rights and responsibilities. Yes. So powerhouse, did I say that? So welcome, welcome. So happy to have you here. All right, so next we have Miss Winnie Stark. So I'm going to share just a little bit about you. You are also from Jamaica, and so you're a native of Manchester, and you graduated from Homo Technical High School, and then you migrated to the U.S. in 1978, earned a bachelor's degree in business. Now, fast forward today, you are, as I shared, you are an American Family Insurance agent, and you've been at the company for 12 years. And you're no stranger to the insurance industry because you started your career in Florida at Allstate, right? In 1990. So you go way back, right? You know your stuff. And you also served as a district sales manager for the East Fort Lauderdale market. After 7 successful years, you moved to Orlando to pursue other opportunities. And you serve as vice president for the Orlando Urban League. You later started your own interior decorating business, and we get to enjoy your great taste on social media. So thank you. And you enjoyed beautifying homes and businesses for over 15 years, and you were featured in local magazines. That's how good your work is. All right. And then you moved to Georgia in 2019, and you reinvented yourself, and that's when you entered the insurance industry. And so you were appointed by State Farm as an agent, but you chose to work with American Family Insurance as an agency owner. And so let me just share some of your successes right here, because there are so many. I'll just give a few. So in 2022, Winnie received the distinguished award of 10-time Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame, an award only earned by a few company-wide. So your passion for protecting families with life insurance brings you great satisfaction. And then you also achieved Gold Key status, commercial business insurance, 9 of 12 years. You were also awarded American Star status in customer excellence. You also won Agent of the Month on the state and district level several times. And in 2020, you were featured on the cover of the All-American magazine, the American Family Insurance Company. An honor you shared with your team because you're a team player. And ladies and gentlemen, look at what I have. I was gifted my very own copy. Thank you so much. Thank you. So welcome. So excited to have you here. All right. So next we have Miss Samantha Samuels. And I'm just going to take a little breath because I said to myself, you know what? I should have worked out to read these bios because they're just so awesome. And it's like running a marathon because you ladies are so accomplished. So Miss Samantha Samuels is a co-chair for the City of Stockbridge Development Authority. And Samantha is a dedicated professional with a strong background in organizational leadership. You graduated from Mercer University with an undergraduate degree in this field, all right? And then you've got such a great passion for mental health advocacy. Your passion is evident through your active involvement in various professional platforms. You've contributed your expertise to the National Federation for Families for Children's Mental Health, indicating your commitment to supporting families dealing with mental health challenges. And that is so crucial right now because not just our country, but all over the world, world, we've seen a rise in this is kind of its own pandemic. So we are just so appreciative of your passion in that area. You have extended your influence as a personal development coach and international speaker. Align yourself with the prestigious John Maxwell and Valerie Burton program. And that in itself is an incredible accomplishment. You empower young people at Young Dreamers International. So at the helm of Young Dreamers International, you hold the position of CEO, and this role underscores your leadership abilities and showcases your commitment to empowering and inspiring young individuals to pursue their dreams. So just a few more things about you, right? You're the former president of the Caribbean Association of Georgia, and your role as a nonprofit leader. Beyond this role, you are such a versatile individual because you're an author, you're a speaker, and you're a minister. And your personal journey of self-discovery and authenticity is encapsulated in your powerful motto, be honest with yourself, the person in the mirror. And if we start there, that will do amazing things for our mental health, would it not? All right, so ladies, Samantha, welcome. All right, so we're actually going to dive right into our conversation. And ladies, I know I shared some things about you. However, during this conversation, I'd like you to also enlighten the audience of any key things additional things that they need to know about you and what's happening right now for you. All right, so we have some questions, and so we're gonna dive into that. And Mr. Wayne Hall had mentioned our sponsors earlier, so we definitely want to thank our sponsors again for this evening. And so I'm going to dive into our very first question. And each of you just take 5 minutes to share your answers with me. There are a couple of questions all rolled up in one, and so I'll just repeat it for each of you. But I will go ahead and extend and start off with our representative, Donna McLeod. And this is the question, right? Please, you can share a little bit more about yourself, should you wish to do that, but then share how you assess the inclusion or lack thereof of women in every facet of life based on your experience. What stands out to you? Who stands out to you? And in what era would you say women are the least included? So I know that's quite a lot. So I'll share it again, and then you can dive right in. So how would you assess the inclusion or lack of inclusion of women in every facet of your life based on your experience, facet of life based on your experience? What stands out to you? Who stands out to you? And in what area would you say women are least included?
So let me start. So back in the day, you mentioned I was an engineer, and back in the 80s, there was a class of 132 people that started the engineering program, and only 32 of us graduated. So women in engineering is one of those things that I think we're still not seeing the kind of presence. For a lot of women, they seem to be afraid of math, and math is your friend. Trust me, math is your friend. But I think for me, as the years have gone by, and I was a single mom at the time too. So not only am I in a field that there's not a lot of women, then you're dealing with the fact that you are a woman, because as a mom and a young mom, I had daycare issues. I had a sick child, and ladies, if some of the ladies know, today they are so much more stuff offered to women in the workforce with children. Back then there wasn't. So when your kid was sick, you were really harassed about coming to work, and your child is sick, and you can't bring them to daycare. So it was definitely challenging. So I definitely think that the field of science still needs a lot of women. The diversity, having diversity at the table in all aspects of our work life is important, and women provide that, especially Black women providing that because of our the challenge that we have to face. I remember even back then, just our hair texture was an issue. I remember you never go on a job interview without pulling your hair back and wearing a small earring. Even though I was always loud and proud, I couldn't do it. As you can see, I am loud and I'm proud about wearing my big earrings and my colors. And back then, we were very, very conscious about it. So even women in that time, being yourself, being able to, maneuver in spaces that you were most of the time excluded was very difficult. And for me, as the years went by, I will say that I was a trailbreaker in a lot of things, even getting into management. There was a lot of women in management, and I actually became a management in corporate America for several years, and had people reporting directly to me. In fact, just the fact of being a woman, and at the time when I became a supervisor, I was actually had 14 men reporting directly to me. And so that was a challenge in itself because, again, men have an opinion of women as to where their place is. And my place is wherever the heck I want to be. That's my place. And I've always made that clear. But again, and for me, I need the other part of the question. And in politics, women make up 50-something% of the population, yet that number is not represented in elected office either. And I remember one guy in the Georgia House referring to me as girl, and I had to shut him down and say, you will either call me Miss McLeod, you can call me Representative McLeod, you can call me the gentle lady, but you will not call me girl, because I'm not your girl. I was duly elected as you were. So even in those spaces as a woman, sometimes people want to put you in certain, I'm duly elected. I am not. The people spoke, and as they spoke for you, they spoke for me, and I'm equally here with you sitting in this Georgia chamber. So those spaces still exist, and this is 2020. This is 2020 when this happened. I think 2019. So so again, those spaces, and I wanted you to give me the other who. I think it was who.
Yes, and who stands out to you? And I've got to say, even when you break those barriers, and now you're operating in that space, it's still a continuation of that. It never stops. So that's interesting. Now, who stands out to you? And in what area would you say women are the least included?
So who stands out to me? I have to say Madamak, my grandmother, who could not read and write. But she was able to make sure my dad got a trade in the backside in Jamaica, so that he could travel to Canada and he could, create a life for us as kids and send for us from Jamaica to Canada. But I would say Madamak, for someone who could not read and write, she was a power beyond power measure. This is a woman that was a higgler. She sold in the market and was able to buy her own house in the late 60s in Tivoli Gardens. So this is somebody who I admire greatly, because she was never one to be put in a corner. She was the Medea before Medea was. She had a cigarette in her mouth and had all kinds of cuss word coming out of her mouth. But when I tell you, hardworking and could cook, that is Mother Mock. And our whole family, even my mom, who would be her daughter-in-law, thinks that Mother Mock was one of the most extraordinary human beings we have ever met in our life. And I'm truly grateful. She was a Maroon. Her family, she was never enslaved. Her mentality was that mentality too. She certainly was emancipated long time before anyone else. And so for that reason, I am totally in awe and in honor of her. The spaces that I think women there's still a lot of spaces in politics, we're doing a little bit better in business, but depend on business. There's certain businesses that were much more accepted, but I think women can do almost any business they want to do. Back in the day when it was more custom for a woman to be a teacher, and now we have branched out to being head of corporations, and we bring a lot to the table. So As far as spaces, I think science, because those are the two areas that I'm most familiar. I think science, we're still lacking in science field, and we're also lacking in the political process and governance, right? So I try to make sure I explain to people there's a difference between politics and governance. And the politics is the part in which you basically persuade somebody to come and vote for you or support you. But then there's the part of governance and how we use your money, and that's why so women have run households, we run things, and we're so good at budgeting. So I think that our place in that space should improve, and we'd see a lot, because I am running to be the chairwoman for Gwinnett County, and that is that kind of role. It's the CEO. It's about managing budget and the tax dollars that people pay every day when they pay taxes, and that is the purpose of governance, is to use those money on behalf of the people to give them services that they need.
And I love the visibility that you have, because as other women are seeing you, shatter the stereotypes of who women should be. It started, of course, with your grandmother, right? She didn't let society define her. It's like, this is who I am, and I'm going to go after this. And that was, that's her legacy to you. And now you're passing it on. And all these women are hearing this tonight. There's such a strength about it. And it has to, and about you, and it has to start from the inside out. And to know, yes, these are the characters that we've developed, through our grandparents, through our parents, and we could be anything we want to be, wherever
Absolutely.
God says we need to be, we could be
Absolutely.
that. And so when they see you doing it, and we're not just saying it, but they see you do it, it's like, I could do it too. Imagine the young girls looking at you.
So I know that we need to go on, but one of the things I will say, even being elected to the Georgia House, I did not know I made history until afterwards. And somebody called me and said, because I was told just to flip the seat, I would have been the first African American to serve in that seat as well. And when they called me and said, you're the first Jamaican born to serve. And one thing I want to say about history is not made by people who go out to seek history. It's made because you did the right thing at the right time, or you stood up for something that you believed in, and that's how you make history. And that's the only kind of history that really truly matters.
Amen. Incredible. All right, so we're gonna move to you, Samantha. Samantha, what would, let me just repeat the question. It's share how you assess the inclusion or lack of inclusion of women in every facet of life based on your experience. What stands out to you? Who stands out to you? And in what area would you say women are the least included?
Okay. Thank you so much, both Jaquel and Wayne and everyone else. I thank you. I think she does know, Donna know, that she's like my shero. I remember the first time I heard her, I was like, who is this woman? I love her tenacity. I love the energy. I just love everything about what she does. Going out there and just breaking every ceiling, and then you put her music on and then she just busts out. And she just busts out. You're like, wait a minute. I thought she was a representative. She's just like, listen, I remember when we went into the at the state capitol, she said, "Well, go on." I was like, yes. So to answer your question, first, I'm from Guyana. I know I didn't put that in my bio. I'm from Guyana, South America, not Ghana. I have to always say that to people. But when I think of this, I think of the women who gave it up for children. Like, I was a mom that gave up my career to raise my children, to become the PTO president, and to do all the things PTO, just to be around and have the schedule around my children. And so even though you read this entire bio, it's like, who is that person? Because when you pull away from the corporate world and you say, I want to raise my children, no one recognizes you. No one acknowledges the job that you do. And so women who are making decisions to just step away and say, the most valuable individual is the kids, and I want to make that investment. And the problem is that when they aim to try to push themselves back out into the atmosphere, out into that workforce, they're like, well, what type of experience do you have? They almost exclude that yeah, you were the taxi driver, you were the doctor, you were the chef, you were everything. You showed up. And even the women who are working, but whenever the child is sick, who do they call? The mom. And Donna rightfully said about being a single mom. I mean, I'm married, and I just can't. It was hard being married and still and having 3 kids, much less to be a single mom. And so when I think of inclusion, I think of those women, the women that are in the home, that's making a difference, that made this a choice to make a sacrifice, but then someone else doesn't give her the opportunity when she's ready to say, well, I'm ready to get back out in the workforce. And they're like, well, let me see your resume. Oh, you're not qualified. And so you put a damper, and she's like, well, wait a minute. I've raised successful children. I've done everything. But then the world tells you, oh, well, you don't matter because you're a mother. You don't matter because you made that choice. And so so women in the home are put in this position to make some tough decisions. And that for me, it's one of the lack of inclusion is that when can we give, good Lord, we wear so many hats now, yet still we have to come home and cook and clean and do all of this stuff. And so the women in the home, the domestic work needs to change. There should be no, well, men do this and women do that. There is no such thing. If you're better at cooking, then you cook. I don't remember the last time I've done laundry. My husband does it. That when he leaves to go away, we're like, well, who's going to do the laundry? I remember my kids like, Mom, who's doing the laundry? I said, I don't know. Your dad went away. Your dad is out of town. I don't know who's going to do the laundry. There should be no such thing as a gender role no longer. There should be, we all put our hands together to get it done. When I think of what stands out, the women, and then who stands out as Donna, my grandmother is my paternal grandmother. She's gone, but she is the one that said, don't worry, my child. Don't worry, Pickney. You'll come. It's okay. I have to get into my Caribbean because she gave me hope, and she gave me a voice, and she gave me a chance at life when no one else did. And so to my grandmother, Elaine Skeet, that is the woman that I honor. I cherish her. I cherish her getting up, at the nick of dawn, making sure that we were fed. Children, grandchildren, everybody. Made sure Sunday morning we were at Sunday school. And if we dare, my cousin and I laugh at it to this day, we dare try to say, oh, we're going to just go for 15 minutes. And she said, okay, then you're going to go to Big People Church.
We know what that means.
Yes, you're going to go to Big People Church, But that is the woman who made an impact in my life to this day. She is the one that allowed me to stand tall on her shoulder. It's her. So when I think of the question, the women in the home, the women that gave up their careers to say, I want to raise my children, because at the ending of the day, who will do it? Someone needs to put food on the table. And if they made a choice for a period of time to raise those children, the world should accept and appreciate them for that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And just hearing from you and also from Donna and about our grandmothers, including my grandmother, we are becoming our grandmothers for the next generation. And so that is just hope in itself. You use that word, and when you use it again, there is hope. And things they're changing. They're not changing fast enough as we'd like, but they're changing because of women like all of you, like all of us. All right. And in what era would you say women are the least included?
I thought of with Donna, and I was like, wow, an engineer. That was never even heard of back in the day. Really and truly, especially growing up in the Caribbean, you only knew you either be a nurse or a teacher. Those were the top careers. You had no other choice. There was nothing else for you, or a domestic worker. But nurse, if you were a nurse or a teacher, you were it. And now we have where girls can just step out and become all that they can become. But there's still such a great need, like you said, in engineering, politics, you know. And one of the things that I believe is that, like, when Donna is the first, Honorable Representative Donna is the first, but then, okay, how can I pull someone along? And I think we should always be in a place where we're in the middle, where we're gleaning from someone who came before us, and then we're pulling someone up from the bottom. And we're saying, hey, come along. I was the first, but I don't want to be the first. I don't want to be just here, because it's lonely in this space if I'm just the only person here. Let me bring someone else, because then you have more voice at the table.
Yeah, exactly. And then just encouraging the next generation that it's okay to be first. And you're their mentor and guide, because you've been there, you know what it looks like, but to encourage them, because some of them are going down unconventional paths, but it doesn't mean that, you know, they're not going to be successful. They need women like us to motivate, inspire them and say, yes, that's the way to go. So I'm just excited to hear what Winnie has to say about this topic. Winnie, share how you assess the inclusion or lack of inclusion of women in every facet of life based on your experience. Who stands out to you, and what area would you say women are the least included?
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Hall, for reaching out and inviting me to be a part of this panel. Jaquel, thank you for being our awesome moderator. You are a force to be reckoned with, and one day we'll turn the tables on you. One correction is I've been in Georgia since 2009, just so the numbers will match up. Like Donna, I have a birthday this month, and we're gonna ride it to the end. Okay, I'm right there with you. As previously stated, I am a veteran in the insurance industry. I've been employed in this industry since 1990, which is approximately 35 years. Yeah, I'm dating myself. I currently have 2 locations in the Atlanta area, one in Stone Mountain and one in Houston. I have been with American Family Insurance since 2012, and I plan to ride this wave until the wheels fall off. Insurance is predominantly a male-dominated industry. I started out in this industry out of pure happenstance, and I had no idea what the heck I was getting myself into. And lo and behold, here I am at the table with mostly men and a couple of white females and the only Black female. At the tender age of 31, I thought I knew it all and had all the answers. And with my fresh diploma, it stated I was qualified and ready to rapidly climb that corporate ladder. I am MBA qualified with a cherry on top. Well, I was in for a rude awakening. When 85% of the agents who reported to me were white males with over 50, who were over 50 with probably about 20, 25 years in the industry. They ate my liver for supper. And then they got my kidneys and every other body part they could get their hands on. To make matters worse, my manager was a Black male who was an ex-veteran. He was not a happy man, and his mission was to make everyone's life miserable by torturing us. And that's a true story. Long story short, inclusion was not the order of the day, and young Black females were not an item on the menu. My strategy was to align myself with a handful of agents who understood my plight and worked like a slave to prove myself to these agents and the company. It was by far one of the hardest things I've ever had to endure in my life. Women are in the minority in certain fields like insurance. There are not a lot of us, especially at the top. Aviation, aircraft pilots and flight engineers, architecture, engineering, mechanical engineering, and just to name a few. Of course, some of the professions that require major physical strength do not tend to attract females. And who stands out to me? The first person that came to mind is Michelle Obama. I have a lot of respect for her. She has proven to be a true leader and a woman of substance. Another person that comes to mind is our very own Judge Joel Scott. And I've been acquainted with Judge Scott since we were children. We went to the same youth fellowship group together. And I've watched her matriculated through the ranks to the status of judgeship. That's major. So I salute you, Judge Scott. And last but not least, my deceased mother, Miriam Reed, from whence I came. She showed me how to be strong. She showed me how to be resilient. She taught me what kindness was, and most importantly, how to be a godly person.
Wow, that was amazing. And I love, ladies, how we're paying tribute to those who have gone before us and shaped us. So, man, I'm just so amazed. And I love that we've tonight, for everyone listening, have identified the areas of opportunity for women, okay? And to know that, yes, women are excelling in these areas, and so can you. And there are awesome mentors that are available to help to push you, to carry you along. And I think what's really key is for us to start with the younger generation, much younger, you know, even before high school, to instill this in them so they can start forging their own path and making the right decisions. So, all right, so that was our first question. And I figured that would be like the most intense. So I know we're gonna keep moving it along, but right now we're gonna take a commercial break, and then we're gonna come back to our next segment. And then we're just gonna keep diving in some really good conversation.
Join us in celebrating Women's History Month by re-electing Patsy Austin Gatson, Gwinnett's first female district attorney. Under her leadership, the inaugural DA Citizen Academy was launched, alongside groundbreaking programs designed to protect our youth and guide them towards positive futures. Support progress. Re-elect Patsy Austin Gatson for DA, a pioneer for justice and a champion for our children. Let's keep making history together.
All right, awesome. All right, welcome back to everyone who's tuning in, and thank you, ladies, for first grade session. And let's dive into the second half. So according to one theory, one of the major causes of gender inequality is a lack of awareness among women about their rights and their ability to achieve equality. This lack of awareness is often due to the prevailing culture and social norms which dictate that women should be subservient to men. Are you in agreement? And why or why not? And before you each answer that question, I'm just gonna remind our viewers who we're with this evening. We're with the Honorable Donna McLeod, we're with Miss Winnie Stark, and we're with Miss Samantha Samuels, all powerhouses in their own right. And so here is the pressing question of the day. This lack of awareness is often due to the prevailing culture and social norms which dictate that women should be subservient to men. Are you in agreement? And why or why not? All right, so we're gonna get started. Let's go first with you, Winnie. We're gonna start with you.
I'm definitely not in agreement. Today's woman knows better and are fully equipped, educated, and trained to handle pretty much any job a man can do, as long as she's physically able to. In this country, thank God, we are more socially advanced in recognizing that women are brilliant creatures and gender-specific roles are a thing of the past. Today's woman is more prepared than ever before to step up and manage large corporations, small corporations, medical practices, major construction projects, just like we have one budding in Jamaica with 3 women at the helm, just to name a few. In many cases, we come to the table better prepared than our average male, because we know the bar is so much higher for us. In order for us to stand shoulder to a man, we come prepared, and being subservient is not a part of our vocabulary. Thank you.
You said something that's, I love that. You said something that is so key about women being prepared. We're actually a lot more prepared, and we take and we spend the time. But one of the things that works against us, and as far as awareness, is that we don't feel prepared. We don't feel prepared. And so we take a lot more time trying to get more and more prepared when we are ready. Ladies, we are ready. You know, we've said this before, a guy will just step into it and let me just learn as I'm going. And I think our confidence comes a lot from knowing and being ready. And so when we feel like we're not 100% there, we don't step forth into these opportunities as often as we should. And that's why it's key to have really great mentors to say, come on now, you're ready, let's go, let's do it. All right, so I love that. So let's go to you, Representative McLeod. What say you about this? Are you in agreement? Why or why not? The lack of awareness is often due to the prevailing culture and social norms, which dictate that women should be subservient to men.
So again, women being subservient. I think this has a lot to do with culture.
Just tame the answer. Tame the answer.
Okay.
No, don't go off on the people.
Okay, so let me tame the answer and be professional.
Yes.
So let me say this. Let me start by saying a lot of it is cultural too, because when I grew up in my house, my family, women were in lead roles. I don't know. They were always leaders in my family. The women in my family have always been, even if they were the ones cooking at home, they were leading. They were the ones making the decision, the financial decisions. They were the ones, you know, what needs to be buy for the house. Okay, let me speak in proper English. They were the ones determining what is bought for the house. They're the ones that were, you know, basically making sure that the household was right, even if they were doing that. So they were always the ones in control. So I don't know, subservient. Yeah, that's not part of my vocabulary.
And you know what?
Yeah.
We need more women like you who do believe
that.
Even
and once again, I'm perfectly comfortable with being a woman. I'm perfectly comfortable. I love being a woman. There is nothing about womanhood that I don't love. It has got nothing to do with that. But when you come to me as a human being, you're going to come to me correct. And you're going to come to me with respect. And I can deliver because I've done so. And I'm not asking you for your approval. And you're not going to tell me how and what I cannot do. I am a woman who knows who she is. And I'm very comfortable in my skin. And any role that I decide to do, it'll be my choice.
And I love that. And I love that you take a stand. And I think for women, and you mentioned something when someone said to you, girl, we have to stop and say, oh no, because that's coming from a place of, you know, what culture dictates, you know?
Yes.
And so we have to stop and make the correction and don't say, oh, let me just ignore that.
And as a cultural, as a Jamaican background, women have always been strong. It's not like, okay, they're talking about 2-income family. Well, shoot, like I said, my grandmother was making it, bringing home the bacon, doing all of that stuff and doing it long time. My grandmother was born in 1908. Okay, so so there are cultures that want to put women behind, and I believe in the culture that respects everybody and their uniqueness. And if you can't respect somebody's uniqueness, understand this, that nobody has to put up with what you believe and what you believe is crap. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to have to walk in my own space and I have to determine how I live. And I don't need someone to tell me how to live. I am going to determine that on my own. Because, and that's why I say, you know, not that I don't care what other people think, but if you ain't feeding me, you ain't putting a roof on my head, I don't care. You don't tell me what to do. And again, out of respect as a human being, you respect people for who they are and meet them where they're at. Now, where you want them to be or what you think of them. And so again, yeah, the word certain has never been a part of my collective consciousness. So I don't quite know how to respond to that because it's never been a part. I remember long time ago, Oprah Winfrey, Betty Shabash, Malcolm X's wife, was on an interview with Oprah, and Oprah asked her, what do you say to people who said your husband was violent and stuff? And Betty Shabash said, those people are not a part of my collective consciousness. And that's my answer to that. You're not a part of my collective consciousness.
We're all going to take that, but I love respect them for who they are and meet people where they're at. So that's one of the biggest takeaways. So, all right, what say you, Miss Samuels?
You know, I really do have to agree with the Representative Donna. I might be small in stature, but I've just never been that one that men could just say what they want to say. It's just never been that case. I've always, and it came from my dad teaching me from a little girl. I remember, I think at the age of 6 or 7, and he would tell me about how men would aim to control women. And I don't know why he said that to me at that age. So I learned from them. I remember when I married my husband, he said, you know, you should have probably married your dad. Because I said, my daddy said, nope, we don't play pillow fight. My daddy said, you know, so I was able to just stood my ground and not allow anyone, especially, you know, men, no, you, and I really and truly have to agree with you, Representative. No, you're going to respect me for who I am as a person. I bring something to the table and you bring something to the table. And you're going to value me for who I am. There's an author that I love, Sheryl Sandberg. The book is called Lean In. And I love that book because she tells you when you're in the room and you raise your hand, I see Whitney, you're like, yes. And you keep, you know, you raise your hand and of course they will pretend like they didn't see you. You know, you're in the boardroom and I'm sure you probably could attest to this, Miss Whitney. You raising, she said, keep it raised until they acknowledge you. You keep it raised until they acknowledge you. And so, but I want to share this story. I hosted a after school program just before COVID. I had majority of boys and girls. We gave, and some, you know, majority of them were boys. But they had a project and it was the girls against the boys. The boys literally just went and they were done. They didn't care how it looked. The girls were arguing who is going to lead and who is going to be in charge. And I think if anything, that is one of our thing that we have. The boys got it done. The girls were still trying to decide. Sheryl says, be done, not perfect. So we have to get to the point where get it done and learn from it. and not try to fix the problem or, trying to make sure it's all perfect. But when it comes to, what is that? Subservient to men?
We won't use that word. We won't use that word.
No, we're gonna have to put that in the that needs to go somewhere in the trash can or something like that. No, I've just not ever been, and some people be like, no, you're really reserved. I'm very reserved until, and I will leave it as that, until.
Yeah, and I think in cases, and for our listeners, there are a lot of men who make really great partners and they respect women. What we're talking about is in the society as a whole and in certain cultures where women are not valued. And so this is where they find themselves being in this position. And we have to take a stand and say, yes, we're not in agreement with that. We say yes to women being empowered, yes to women being valued, yes to women being and going after their dreams and know their worth, and they've got the skills and the talents to perform just as well, and in some cases even better. All right. And so we want to acknowledge that, and that it's time for more change to happen, for us to not talk about it, but for us to actually see it. It's been the trickle effect, but ladies, I have a feeling, because there are women listening tonight, there are younger women listening, but really it's like catching fire and things are changing and it's going to start picking up the pace. So awesome. So we're going to take a commercial break. And then we're going to come back to our last question of the evening. And yes, we're going to go out with a fire.
Join us in celebrating Women's History Month by re-electing Patsy Austin Gatson, Gwinnett's first female district attorney. Under her leadership, the inaugural DA Citizen Academy was launched alongside groundbreaking programs designed to protect our youth and guide them towards positive futures. Support progress. Re-elect Patsy Austin Gatson for DA, a pioneer for justice and a champion for our children. Let's keep making history together.
Hey there, Atlanta, this is your main man, J. Henry Live. And I want to invite you to come hang out with me and a couple of my friends, Andre Jackson, Danny Clay, and Jamal Dukes, as we pay tribute to the iconic voices Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass, Luther Vandross, and Donny Hathaway. Live Friday, April 5th at the Atrium in Stone Mountain, Georgia. Details on the flyer, tickets are available now. I want to see your face in the place. Yeah, baby. It's gonna be ecstasy, yes. Alright, y'all. I'll see you later.
Okay, welcome back everyone to our final segment. This is Jaquel Tucker. I'm your host this evening, and I'm with our guests, the Honorable Donna McLeod, Miss Samantha Samuels, Miss Winnie Stark, and we're gonna dive into this question because when I saw this number, I was like, whoa. So here's the question, right? The United Nations has assessed the cost for gender inequality. I don't know if anybody can take a wild guess at this number, but I'm gonna say it. The cost is $360 billion. Okay, this is not like from centuries ago up to now. This is annually. That is the cost of gender inequality. That's a lot of money. So with this knowledge and looking ahead, are you confident that this number can be reversed by 2030? And then what gives you the most hope right now that this can actually happen? So we'll get started with you, Miss McLeod.
Repeat that question for me.
Yeah, so the question is, basically the backdrop is the United Nations, they have assessed the cost for gender inequalities, $360 billion annually, right? And with this knowledge looking ahead, are you confident that this number can be reversed by 2030? And if so, what gives you the hope that this can actually happen?
Reverse, they're trying to reverse us back. Because one of the things that have moved
as
women,
far as the number, as far as the cost, what it's costing us, how can that be reduced?
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be harder because every time you put more restriction on women, we end up actually being pushed back, so that loss is only going to probably grow, because one of the things that made it possible for women to actually be in the workforce is having control of our own bodies, right? And pay equity. Even when we were in the workforce doing the same work, because I have actually had that personally happen to me, where I trained someone who was ended up making more money than me. So the inequality of women and being underpaid, but not only that, not being able to be your full potential. So we already have doubts within ourselves, because we analyze everything, trying to make sure that we get it right the first time. So we already do that to ourselves. But then society is also saying, I'm going to put these restrictions on you. Everything has a cost, right? Because if you think about making money, right? You think about what your contribution is, and you think about the workforce, right? When you go into a corporation, you're actually helping that corporation make money, right? That's the whole idea. There's a structure, there's a hierarchy, and especially if you're in management, your job is to produce and the goals of the company, right? That's your job. So as a woman, when you're not put into that space where you can really grow and really exercise your full earning potential, and even as moms, nobody pays moms. So even that number, I think it might be it's too small, because at the end of the day, I think we as women hurt ourselves in some ways, but then society also puts a pressure. So, and we're not just talking about North America, we're talking about women overall, and being able to really experience our full potential. So no, I'm right now, that's why I'm here pushing so hard to make sure that we're at the table. And I think Winnie said, because if you're not at the table, you are certainly going to be on the menu. And the women have been on the menu a whole lot longer than most people. And the fact that we have our population, their number of women continues to grow, and we're not getting the equality or the pay equality or the room to actually be our full selves, our full individuals. So I will say to women, and this is the word that I've taken for the 2024 year, is to be intentional. Be intentional. Because if we're not intentional, those little girls behind us will not even have half of what we had.
Can I just take you and multiply you like by 1 million more and kind of build that army? I mean, because I have hope that there are advocates like you are in this fight and will keep fighting and will keep making advances and keep being an example and keep inspiring. So I know I'm hopeful, but yeah, that's a monumental number to get reversed. It's gonna take a very, very long time. We'll make strides, but it's not gonna be overnight. Yeah. So let's go to you, Samantha. What do you say about that? What gives you the most hope right now that this can actually happen? Maybe, maybe not. Can we see impactful change by 2030?
Not sure about 2030, but what gives me hope, and I'll get biblical a little bit here. There is this phenomenal Bible story that I love. When I came across it, I just loved it. It was these 5 daughters. Their dad died, and God told Moses to give the land to the men. And they said, wait a minute, because my father didn't have boys, you're not going to give us land? So they approached Moses, and you think about this way back in the day, and said, are you saying because my dad didn't have boys that you're not going to give us what belongs to our dad? And so the story ended up going that Moses went to God, and God says, you do give them land, and made it a law. I come to Wayne Hall, and I want to say this is what gives us hope, because we have to have men involved. Men have to understand that they have mothers, they have daughters, they have wives. Wayne is someone that I admire as a man. If he gets an award, he is not standing there by himself. His wife and his daughters are right there. And what he does, he gives them the honor and say, they're the one that's doing it for me to make me be on this platform. Whether it be that she made sure that his dinner is okay, whatever it is that she's doing or whatever the daughters are doing, he made sure. So I think when it comes to what gives me hope, it's men like Wayne and those that have daughters that said, I want more for my daughter. I want to give my daughter a better education, a better world. Because women, we cannot do it by ourselves. We do need those men that are going to stand at the table and they're going to say, no, she has a voice just like you. She deserves everything just like you. And that is what gives me hope. So Wayne, I salute you tonight. I do. When I thought of that question, I thought of you because I've never seen you on any platform receiving anything and you did not honor your wife and your daughters. You have always made sure that they were the one that were getting the accolades. And that's what we need. And that's what gives me hope right now.
Awesome. Awesome. So we're going to take this time and just give a shout out to the amazing men in our lives who support us and who stand behind us and who believes like, yes, whatever your dreams are, go for it, and support the daughters and support the mothers. So thank you all. And I'm totally in agreement with that. And I'm inspired and have hope because of that as well. All right, Miss Stark, what say you about this?
Well, I am totally confident that this injustice towards women will never be rectified till Jesus comes. Why do I say that? The injustice will never stop, so that number will keep growing. While we have come a long, long way in recognizing the value of women and what they bring to the table. For example, we have many women who are now heads of large corporations, Fortune 500 corporations, such as CVS Health, General Mills or General Motors, UPS, Progressive Insurance, Fannie Mae, Best Buy, just to name a few. We also still have cultures and nations where a woman will never be recognized as worthy of equality and inclusion. In pondering this dilemma, we as women have to do our best to prepare ourselves educationally, emotionally, and spiritually to step up to that table. And if there is no chair at the table for us, then by all means, build our own table and invite our own kind to the table. And let's see who has more fun. That's my comment.
All right, mic drop. Now, you had me at I am confident because I was like, whoa, Winnie's confident that this is going to happen. So you got me. But, you know, what I love about what you said is, you know, creating your own seat at the table. And that's happening more and more for women. I know sometimes you focus a lot on the marketplace, you know, especially in corporate America. And women are creating their own seat at the table through entrepreneurship. And there is astounding progress that's been made in that area where women are using their natural skills and talents. And right now, society, and we've moved to even more of a digital space where women can create things even from home. And I have hope for women who stay-at-home moms, and to know that there are opportunities that can be created for them, right? To create a better life for their kids and for themselves, for their actually entire family. You know, I know women who They're the breadwinners now, the stay-at-home mom who then built a business, and they're now the breadwinners. And I think men are not in general, but there's a certain part of the population, various places are starting to recognize the value of what women bring, the ideas, the innovations that we have, and that we're business women, and that we can take a great idea and put it to work, and it can change our entire family, and they are enjoying the fruits of that. So there is that undercurrent that's happening, but it's going to take us, you know, continuing to be advocates for ourselves and for the next generation of women, and come alongside the men who support us and encourage them to help their friends to understand, and the guys in their circle to understand that we need the support. And I think it's just understanding women overall, right, about what we desire and that we want to do more, and that we consider ourselves as your partner, and say it, not just assume, okay, one day they'll figure it out. We have to speak, our voices have to be heard and be understood. All right, so because together we can do so much more. And, you know, more and more men are realizing, like Mr. Hall, you know, hey, it's you and Michelle all the way. Hey, without Michelle, I don't know where I'll be, right? So it's the same for me and my husband, you know, and then for women who have great dads in their life and great uncles, grandfathers, you name it. So it's going to take everyone to make this movement continue to happen and to move this along, and just to refuse to kick the can of this issue down the road and hope the next generation fixes it. So thank you, ladies. It's been such an amazing conversation. And to wrap up, I just want you just to share your final thoughts and words for this evening, and just also share with our listeners, how can they connect with you and how can they support you? All right, we'll get started with you, Winnie.
Thank you. And thanks again, Wayne, for allowing us to visit with you and the listening audience on this platform. It was indeed a pleasure to participate. Again, I'm with American Family Insurance, and a lot of you know the jingle, American Family Insurance. That's me. And you can look me up online. My phone number is 678-537-8425. And if you Google my name, Winnie Stark, you'll find me all over the place. So thank you. And I look forward to hearing from a lot of you.
Thank you, Winnie. And now you're available for singing engagements too. Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. How about you, Samantha?
Wayne, thank you so much for including me to be a part of this platform. It was absolutely great. Thank you to Miss Winnie, to the Honorable, you know, you're my she-hero. You're my shiro. And Jaquel, you did an amazing job. And to everyone that's watching and listening, thank you so much. This was absolutely great. It's conversations like these, not just in the month of March, that we do need to continue having and taking the initiative, going into schools and, you know, wherever we can find that little girl. We need to find that little girl and bring that little girl along with us. Don't leave her behind. Right now, actually, June, we all know June is National Caribbean Heritage Month. But I am actually going to be hosting the first McDonough International Gospel Concert. So if you go on, you can find it on Facebook, McDonough International Gospel Concert. Actually, not concert, festival in the city of McDonough that is sponsored by the city of McDonough. But you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, I think, yes. Facebook, Instagram, and stuff like that. But but definitely that's what I'm pushing out there, is the gospel festival that will be coming on June 8th to kick off the National Caribbean Heritage Month. So thank you once again, and I truly appreciate being a part of this platform.
Amazing. Well, we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. All right, and now we're going to move to the Honorable, and I'm just going to give you the floor. Just take it over.
So let me start by thanking
Wayne. I'm sorry, Wayne, you don't have her music? You don't have the...
Oh my. Uh, yeah, y'all don't want me to act a fool right now. But I want to thank Wayne for putting this together, and Winnie and Samantha for being part of with this panel with us. I think we had some really great conversation and really good things. And Jakeel, you did an amazing job at making this flow and tying things together. And even your commentary were really good in between. So I want to just really want to thank everybody on this platform. Yes, I can't leave without first of all saying that this is an election year, and I wanted to make sure that people understood just exactly what this means. I have too many people that come to me and say I'm not into politics, and I like to stop them and say, look, politics is the process. This country is a republic with representative democracy, and in order for it to actually work, you have to select people to be your voice at the table. And so that's the political process. It's about persuasion. I'm asking everybody out there for their vote in Gwinnett County for me being the next chairwoman. But there's also the other part. It's called governing. And that is the bigger part. We tax you, and taxation without representation. This country went to war in 1776. That's 1770, I think 73, 74, 75. 76, they finally came to a conclusion where and declared their independence from Great Britain because they didn't want to be taxed by Great Britain anymore. And so I ask you to make sure that you understand that your money should be used on behalf of you and the people that we share a society with, and that it means that we provide services. Miss Winnie is in business. She sells a product or service, and obviously her company wants to make a profit. So they're going to charge you a little bit more than it probably should, but that's the whole idea of business. Government doesn't work the same way. They take your money in taxation. And so that's the reason why you want proper representation. You want to do your homework to make sure you get people that are elected in office that will use your tax dollars on your behalf and provide you services. In saying so, we do have an election coming up. It is a primary election, and a lot of people get confused. There is a November election, but before you get there, each party has to choose the people that are going to be on the November ballot. And this is it. So you go and you will select a Democratic ballot or a Republican ballot. I will be on the Democratic ballot. And you want to make sure you find people and research people that you know will do a good job for you. You mark your X in the box start on April 29th is when early voting starts, and early voting will end on May 17th. The election day will be on May 21st. You will also have nonpartisan races, which are partisan, by the way, but they call them nonpartisan. So you will have judge races, as well as school board races on the ballot. Do not go for the nonpartisan ballot, please, because the nonpartisan ballot will only have the judicial race and the school board races in Gwinnett County. It might have some more. Pick one or the other party, right? The Democratic Party or a Republican ballot. Take one or the other. Do not take the nonpartisan, because you won't find all the candidates. And all the candidates that you want to vote for will need to have your vote on that ballot. Again, I've asked everybody to be very intentional about what they do in society, because there's a lot at stake. And it's not hyperbolical to say that democracy is on the ballot. Democracy is something that we are all striving for. We have not gotten complete democracy, but the whole idea of this country is that it is a republic and that the people have to speak. That's why it's a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And in order for it to work, the people have to participate. And so I ask very kindly and forcefully in some ways to make sure that you get out to the ballot and vote, because knowledge is the most powerful thing you give to yourself, but the vote is the most powerful thing we give to each other in this country. And this country is going through some kind of forces, I guess, some kind of change. And we have to be mindful of the change, especially as of people of African descent, because anytime there's change, we're always at the mercy of whoever is making the change. Stop being at the mercy of everybody's change. We need to step up and make sure that our voices are heard. We have a powerful tool, and it's called voting. And I know that some people say, oh, I'm not partaking in politics, but I remind people, you have a birth certificate and a death certificate. All of that comes from government. And so at the end of the day, your participation is required for this to work. And you cannot just say, I'm frustrated, I'm tired, this is exhausting, because exhaustion, and that's what people that don't want you to participate want you to be: exhausted and tired. Believe me, I've spent lots of months being exhausted and tired in the Georgia House. And I can tell you this much: back in 2020, in 2021, I got emails with the the subject line, "Stop the Steal," in which those emails were threatening my life because they didn't feel that Trump lost. And for those who think that this is a joke, it was not a joke. I got threats, death threats. And so I could say, you know what, I don't want any part of this, but I understand if I'm not at the table, I will truly be on the menu. And if our voices are not being heard, just like we're talking about women, it's the same thing. There's a lot of other things on the ballot. And don't just stay on one issue. There's so many things, and all of us are being affected. And we have to care about our neighbors. We have to care about the people that we love. And especially for us as women, we've got to care about the younger women that are coming behind us. So for whom much is given, so much more is expected. And I expect that you will do what you need to do to make sure we have a society that we can all be proud of. Because at the end of the day, we're going to leave something behind. Let it be positive. Because I think Maya Angelou said it best. Don't, people can tell you something, they can, do something, but it is the way you make people feel by your actions. Make it mean something. Be intentional about doing good. Being good to your society, being good to the people you love, and being good to the family and the friends that we meet along the way in this journey. And I just ask you all for your vote in May, in the May primary. And again, I ask everyone that is listening to truly believe that we have the power to make changes, and we do. Thank you.
Donna McLeod, when it county, real chairperson. I don't want everybody help me sing. Food vibes. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, Donna for the win. People ears cock up with the plans where she bring. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, Donna for the win. Donna McLeod is a cloud 19. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, Donna for the win. People ears cock up with the plans where she bring. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, Donna for the win. When it county real chairperson, booyaka, booyaka, just keep voting. Caribbean woman is a powerful thing. Leading and teaching, always giving, always supporting, uplifting. Love for the community, what a blessing. Clean heart and she full of self-esteem. Never selfish cause she work with a team. Work with a team, yeah, she work with a team. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, Donna for the win. People ears cock up with the plans where she bring. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, Donna for the win. Donna McLeod is a cloud 19. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, Donna for the win. People ears cock.
Thank you, Wayne. Oh, that's my favorite song, I can't help it. Oh my gosh, you know what? Shaba and I need to come on. Shaba needs to come to help me out, because Shaba, he know me. That's my song. That's my jam. I'm a dancehall queen when I hear that song. I will dance to it as long as I can. I turned 56 this year, but I will dance to it as long as I can, because it just makes me feel like home. And just that knife and fork, a fight for dumpling. What?
That's Donna, that's a fight for the
two
county win.
dumplings.
Wow. Okay. All right.
That's awesome.
All right.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for this opportunity, the Wayne House Show, and honoring us, recognizing us.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yes.
If anybody wants to follow me, you can follow me on almost all social media platforms: Facebook, IG, X, Tribal, Threads, at Donna McLeod, McLeod, the number 4U.
And also you can go to my website, adonnamcleod.com. And it's again, McLeod is MCLEOD. Thank you.
Awesome. So an awesome way to wrap up International Women's Month. So thank you so much, ladies. Honorable Donna McLeod, Miss Winnie Stark, Miss Samantha Samuels. And again, I'm your host, Jaquel Tucker, entrepreneur of the J. Tucker Group, My Purpose on Fire, and my nonprofit, the Jamaica Project USA. And the takeaways for this evening, right? Everyone is, for us ladies, know your worth, know your value, and use your voice. And when you're blessed with a seat at the table, use your voice and bring others along with you. And as Winnie said, if you don't get your own seat at the table, build your own and bring others in with you at that table. All right, so that's how we want to leave this evening. And just to say thank you again to the men in our lives who support us, and with you, Wayne Hall, for the Wayne Hall Show and for the amazing platform that this is. So thank you all, everyone. And ladies, keep rocking out the rest of the month with your birthday. Yeah, ting-a-ling-a-ling.
Okay, all right. And so I want to say, Jaquel, thank you so very much for making one of the most impressive platform debuts I've ever seen, hosting on the Wayne Hall Show for the first time. Thank you. Yes, I want to thank Miss Winnie Stark, Mrs. Samantha Samuels, Miss Donna McLeod for being willing participants as we continue to let the voice of women be heard. As you all pointed out, yeah, I stand with 3, my wife and 2 daughters, and so I always say nothing will be more fulfilling than to see the strength in the women that surround me. So I really appreciate you this evening. Thank you very much. I do like to sometimes bring in what some of the guests are saying on social media. So give me 2 minutes to go through real quick. All right. So Janice O'Shea is saying, Gwinnett County Chairperson Donna McLeod on May 21st. Thank you for echoing that, Janice. Respect, Miss Donna. You have the right word, says Joan Lloyd. Cam Booster says blessings. Yes, Donna T. McLeod, we're going out to vote for you, says Denise Ati. All right. Denise Ati is laughing at her music. Well, I don't know if you're still laughing, Denise. Great dialogue, ladies, and host Jaquel. Winnie, please mail me that cute topper after the show, says Janice O'Shea. Top-notch woman of substance, says Joan Lloyd. Donna T. McLeod for chairwoman, says Denise Hattie. Michelle Hanniford Hall. Oh, she's talking about me, my honey. Yes, I get. Okay, Mrs. Hall, thank you for listening. Let's teach them how to love and respect themselves and still be fantastic, says Joan Lloyd. But woman, let's change the girl culture. Ooh, boy. Create your own table and bring your own chair. Yes, they will think you are crazy, but hey, says Joan. All right, Michelle was clapping. I love this woman, says Joan Lloyd about Winnie Stark. Well, Joan, meet Winnie. Winnie, meet Joan. All right. And so Christine Marzuka says, I agree, Samantha. Kudos to Wayne. And that's as far as my Facebook page will let me scroll. So everyone who took part on social media, thank you. Everyone who watched us live tonight, watched or listened on the different radio platforms, thank you so much for tuning in. Christine Rendell is over there in London at what? 3, 4 in the morning listening to this conversation. And not just her, but everyone else. I really, truly appreciate you. So thank you, ladies. As always, you hit it out the park. I can count on my woman in my diaspora, in my circles, in my community. I'm very proud of you, and hence we do this. I look forward to next year. Until, ladies, have a great rest of your night, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Donna McLeod, Gwinnett County, real chairperson. And I want everybody help me sing. Boot vibes. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, Dana for the win. People ears cock up with the plans where she bring. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, Dana for the win. Dana McCloud is a cloud 19. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, Dana for the win. People ears cock up with the plans.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, what a great show tonight. It was busy from the get-go, but we pulled it off. I'm so grateful to my first guest, Mr. Dean Roden, who joined us to talk about life under the reggae tree and his upcoming gospel show. Please follow Mr. Dean Roden. His number is in the chat. Also want to say thank you to Anthony Turner for always bringing the latest and greatest with the E-Report that came at 8:30. Jay Henry, if anybody doesn't want to be in the atrium on next week, Friday night, after hearing Jay Henry, something's awfully off. We're going to pack that atrium, okay? And then, man, I cannot thank these awesome women enough. They truly delivered on women's issues, women's perseverance, hope, and everything else. So thank you so much to Miss Winnie Stark, Samantha Samuels, Donna McLeod, and our host, Miss Jekyll Tucker. Ladies and gentlemen, Cam Booster, big up yourself. Big up Cam Booster. All right. I got to shout you out. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, thanks again. I'll be back next week. Same time, same place, same blazing stations with another edition of the Wayne Hall Show. Until then, Wayne Hall saying, see ya.
Join us in celebrating Women's History Month by re-electing Patsy Austin Gatson, Gwinnett's first female district attorney. Under her leadership, the inaugural DA Citizen Academy was launched alongside groundbreaking programs designed to protect our youth and guide them towards positive futures. Support progress. Re-elect Patsy Austin Gatson for DA, a pioneer for justice and a champion for our children. Let's keep making history together.
Sparkle D's Restaurant, authentic Caribbean food, 3370 Sugarloaf